Excited to get started. So let me just switch over the camera, shut off the background music, and we're ready to begin. Welcome to another module in the Biohacked Warrior Fitness Playbook. Today we're going to focus on supplement, the role of supplement on helping you become fitter, stronger, and more warrior-like every day so you can conquer your goal and achieve more and be more. Are you ready to begin? I think you are. I am certainly too. So we're going to get started. All right. Supplements. Supplements for warrior fitness. What are we talking about? Let us switch over to the slide. Today you're going to uncover a series of things. You're going to uncover why. Why take supplement at all? Why can't I just eat healthy, eat whole food, eat well? I'm going to tell you why. And there's a very good reason. It's going to help you break out of a downward spiral and help you become progressively stronger and fitter and healthier and more energetic with the role of supplement. We're going to show you some of the top supplements you can take that's safe, that is affordable, and are effective, as well as helping you taking some actions, implementing some of the information that I'm going to share with you today. We're going to cover all these today. And as per usual, if you got any questions, post them in the community post. I'm here to help. Why do we need supplements? Good question, right? You want to be fit and strong. You want greater executive performance, but there are things getting in your way. First of all, maybe you're low on energy. You're feeling tired, you have a lot to do, and there's a number of reasons why you feel that way. We have a lot of conflicting advice. Bad advice, food pyramid. And if you look at what the public health expert says what you should do and how you should eat, well, I had a good chuckle looking at this particular Instagram post from Mike Mutzel. Sorry if I butcher your name if you're watching this. Now, Mike posted this image. If you listen to the public health expert on what we should eat, you follow the food pyramid, the standard American diet guideline and recommendations, well, just look at most public health experts. That's what you will kind of look like. And then they call the other side conspiracy theorist. So if you don't follow the public health recommendation, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, that's what they look like. So you tell me, which one do you think is thriving and healthy, full of energy, right? Okay, so there's a lot of conflicting advice. It's very confusing, and that will reduce the amount of energy you have when you don't have the right information. A lot of us have poor digestion. That's another cause for low energy and motivation. Some of you might suffer from leaky gut. So leaky gut is a syndrome where food that's undigested, that's not properly broken down, is getting through to your bloodstream, through your gut when you shouldn't have. And that creates all kinds of issues with brain fog. It creates autoimmune conditions. It reduces your immunity overall. You'll likely get sick. And that, again, contributes to low energy. We're talking about brain fog. Leaky gut is one of the causes, but there are other causes, maybe low on thyroid hormones, bad metabolism, metabolic dysfunction that will cause brain fog. And these contribute to low energy. Now, combine that with, let's say you overcome that. You go for a workout, you do your fitness exercise, but then you're getting very little result because you're older. Maybe you have protein resistance. So you have sarcopenia, which means your muscles are shrinking. It's not really growing as you expect. You work hard during your workout, you put in intensity, you put in the time, you put in effort, and you have low results because of that. And combine that with slow recovery due to inflammation and senescence of your cells. What that means is this is the result. You're working hard, you got very little result. That means you struggle with motivation and energy, because when you don't work out well, you don't have enough energy. And when you don't have enough energy, again, you reduce the result you get from the workout. So can you see this is a vicious cycle? It's a downward trend. You work hard, you don't have much outcome, you're not getting fitter, you're not getting stronger, you're not feeling good. Therefore, you struggle with low energy, your motivation, your fitness is not good. And that makes it even harder to work. And that gets you even less result from your workout. What's the solution? Well, just work harder. Just try harder. If you're not getting result, you must be weak-minded. Well, that's your personal trainers talking, right? And as we look, they have their point. There's a point of discipline, but your biology is working against you. Your body is not working for you. Working harder, just telling people to work hard, go to the gym more often, work even more, getting this unpredictable result, and spending all this time in the gym is not helping. Alternatively, we can work smarter. Let's use the science to help us, based on supporting how your body functions, to boost your nutrition, to break you out of this downward spiral. Ideally, you want to get more outcome per unit of input, which is greater efficiency, and you want the energy to be able to put in the work. That's where we are here today. The fitness supplements I'm going to recommend for you to investigate and potentially try are supplements that work for me, that help me get the energy, the motivation to do the workout, but not only that, to get the result. We can get result by using a group protocol. In this playbook, I've shown you my protocol of getting result. I've shown you how you can tune up your protocol. But when you have this supplementation, it will give it an extra boost in terms of the result you get from exercise, and in terms of the benefit you get, the health benefit, the energy benefit, all your executive warrior goals that you expect to get from exercise will be boosted when you take these supplements. All right. There's some criteria for me to recommend these supplements, and I'm very conscious of this because it's about your health, right? It needs to be safe with extensive human trial. I will exclude any kind of niche supplement that doesn't have very good level of evidence, and it's something that you can take on the longer term. So you actually build you up for the long term. It's not some short-term hack that you just take, you get benefit, and then nothing. Everything I recommend, it's actually going to fundamentally improve your health overall, your energy and vitality, not just for the workout, but for everything you do. So what are they? But before we go into that, a word of caution. Be wary of pre-mixed formulas. When you come to discussion about any kind of fitness supplementation, you normally see pre-made pre-workout drinks, protein shakes, all that stuff. Be careful because a lot of them have ingredients you really don't want in your body. Things like maltodextrin, flavoring, sucralose, acyl potassium, artificial processed junk, the numbers, you don't want that. You don't want vitamin C. The whole point of working out is you want information to trigger adaptive response in your body so you get stronger. When you take vitamin C, you eliminate the information that's going to create the adaptation, so you might as well not do the workout, right? So the wrong ingredient in a lot of these formulas is actually undermining your gain. You don't want things like peppering, which just creates more leaky gut. You don't want coloring, which creates all kinds of negative side effects like headaches, hives, ADHD. You don't want that. You don't want additional sugar. When you add sugar to workout drink, it literally destroys your human growth hormone burst after the workout. All right? You don't want that. So what you want instead is a pure supplement. That's what I recommend. I don't really like those pre-mixed protein shakes and drinks. There are some exceptions. I'm not going to go into that today. There are some really good reputable brands to build those pre-mixed drinks, but the majority of the stuff that you find in your local pharmacy, in your Walmart, in your GNC store are literally junk. I just will not take those. All right, the first supplement I want to recommend is really to help with energy and motivation. The reality is, if when it's time to go to a workout, let me just switch the camera. I just want to talk to this a bit. If you feel tired, you feel fatigued, you really don't feel like it, it's just that much harder to go get changed and get dressed and do the workout. I know a lot of you are very strong-minded, super motivated individual. Maybe you're different, but for the normal people, for people like us, right? We need that energy. Especially it's been years since you last worked out. You're not in a good state of strength and readiness to tackle on new things. So you need that extra boost. Supplement can help. It can not only help you get that started, get that kick started. It's like kick-starting engine. You just go boom, push it, right? Like a steam engine. You know, the first push, before it takes a few pushes before the steam engine gets the traction to start to run. The first push is always hard. You want all the help to get that started, and some of these supplements will really, really help. And they're used not just by average people, but also professional athletes also use a lot of these supplements. And the first one off the mark is something you're already familiar with, is caffeine. Word of warning, this is not a prescription or diagnosis. Always work with a medical professional for specific advice. That's not to protect me, it's to protect you. Everyone is different. You have different conditions. You might have different genetics. You might have different, whether you have a heart condition or something else. Make sure you talk to your doctor. When you take a supplement, when you take something new, you are messing with your biology. You are deliberately, unconsciously meddling with your biology for a specific effect. So these things, for them to work, it has to do that. That's how they work. So talk to a medical professional, but know that they are advisors. They are not decision makers. You own the decision, so they can advise. Find a good doctor. There are some less good doctors who doesn't know a thing about supplements, and there's good doctors who are educated and trained on nutritional supplementation. They can give you proper advice. So make sure you find a good one. All right, caffeine. How do they work? They increase dopamine, which is a neuromodulator that increases drive and motivation. It makes you want to do things and go get them. Go get things. It increases norepinephrine, which is energy. Norepinephrine is also known as noradrenaline. So when you have more energy, when you have motivation, guess what? You want to work out, right? It makes it easier to go out there, get changed, and do these things. Plus, during the workout, it reduces this perceived effort or exertion during the exercise. What that means is you can go harder without feeling it's being harder. It's actually feel easier. So it's a hard workout, but it actually feels easier. Isn't that cool? It's like the ultimate cheat, right? So you can work hard, but you're not feeling so bad. It's an awesome trick to use to make your workout more effective, but not feeling in your mind that it's that bad. One thing that some people is concerned about is you can become adapted to caffeine, so it's reducing its impact. So if you drink coffee a lot, for those of you, this is something you might want to try. The only thing is the study that shows whether chronic caffeine intake undermine its performance-enhancing function. It's actually mainly performed on rats. So it's probably not going to impact you much. You can still take the caffeine before you work out as a pre-workout drink. But if you're concerned that maybe you're not feeling as much from that particular supplementation, you can try cycling, which is just train without caffeine for some sessions. Give it a break and then bring it back in, and then give it a break and then bring it back in. And that is a way for you to experiment if cycling is going to make any difference for you whatsoever. If it doesn't make a difference, like every time you take it, you feel good, forget about cycling. Just do it. Just use it. The dosage, if we want to use this to help with fat burning for your workout, it's around 200 milligrams an hour before exercise. You can also tune it based on your body weight. You can customize the dosage based on how heavy you weigh. and it's around 3 to 6 milligram for body weight to increase your performance. With a higher dosage, generally more about increasing your strength output. So let's say if you're lifting heavy, you might try a higher dosage, like a 6 milligram per kilogram of body weight. That's about 480 milligrams for 80 kilogram or 176 pound person. I would suggest start low. Start with 200 and see how you go. Depending on how sensitive you are, that might be already enough to start an experiment. But watch out, if you're a person who are chronically anxious, maybe this is not for you, because caffeine is a stimulant. Stimulant ultimately can make you hyper, right? So if you suffer from chronic anxiety, or you have a low tolerance of caffeine beverages like yerba mate, coffee, tea, or chocolate has caffeine, in case you don't know. If you feel jittery or stressed out after taking those things, maybe you don't want caffeine. Another thing that people who need to watch out for is you've got a particular genetic mutation called MAO SNP. SNP as SMP. That will mean the caffeine-driven catecholamine elevation. So once you take caffeine, your elevated dopamine and norepinephrine is going to stay in your blood for that much longer. So it's the effect is actually amplified in not just in terms of the amount, but also duration. And for those of you who have that mutation, it means it's really hard for you to calm back down. So if you notice you're one of those person who, if you get amped up, it takes you hours and hours to calm back down, this is something to be aware of. That's probably because you have a MAO SNP. Therefore, you're slow in metabolizing your catecholamines for energy, that increases energy, and that's why you have trouble coming back down once you've been agitated or once you've been aroused. Be careful. If you've noticed that, maybe caffeine is not for you. Okay? Some warnings for those of you in terms of caffeine consumption, but it's awesome as a supplement. And notice that coffee and taking a capsule are different. You have different effect. A capsule is much more rapid. You really feel it that much sooner than compared to drinking a cup of coffee. So just for your awareness. And again, when you drink coffee, the quantity, the dosage is actually very difficult to predict, depending on how the coffee is extracted. Some of them you have more caffeine, some of them you have less. That's another thing to factor in. If you want to be a little bit more scientific and you want a predictable outcome, a supplement is probably a good way because it's measurable, right? You're standardizing the dosage. Okay, how about the next supplement? L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is fascinating because beyond just increasing your drive and norepinephrine for energy, it also helps your body adapt to physical and mental stress. And for the people that benefit the most from L-tyrosine are generally the people who have the most amount of stress. It doesn't just increase the dopamine and norepinephrine, it also helps with your thyroid function. But one thing you need to be aware if you take this for energy and motivation for your workout is after it's done, you're going to get a dip in motivation. It has a dopamine dip. It creates a fairly significant peak, but comes with it a trough. In that trough, you're not going to be feeling very motivated. You feel lazy, you find it difficult to focus. And so take it before your workout, you do your workout, but do not plan any kind of work sessions where you need a lot of mental energy and demand for motivation to do after your workout, because that's where you're going to get the dip. As long as you plan for that, that is okay. Maybe that's great for sleep, but it's definitely not good for work to have that dip. The dosage, about 1 hour before exercise, 500 to 2 grams or 2,000 milligrams. It's very, very safe. All the supplements I'm sharing with you are safe, and they've been used for in terms of L-tyrosine up to 150 milligram per kilogram of body weight for per kilogram of body weight have been tested in research, that's like something ridiculous, like 12 grams. If you're 80 kilogram girl, 176 or 176 pound. You can go to examine.com is a really wonderful website. Highly recommended. I don't get paid by them to recommend them, but very good website with good recommendations, dosages, usages, as well as linked to actual human studies of all these supplements. It's not just some petri dish or test tube test or animal model. These are tests that's being used on humans with a high quality research publication. So check them out. And the same warning comes with L-tyrosine as caffeine because it is a form of stimulant. It's used to build your catecholamines, which is the hormones that help give you drive and energy, which is stimulating. People with hyperthyroidism, like your thyroid is hyperactive, hyper means overactive, or if you're taking L-dopa or monoamine oxidase or MAO inhibitors, those people probably shouldn't take L-tyrosine because L-tyrosine do amp up those pathways and it can make it worse, right? If you already have problem with too much catecholamine, too much thyroid activation, taking this will take it even further. You don't want that. Talk to your doctor. Okay, so I've talked about the anxiety and stuff, which is same with caffeine. Won't mention that again. Okay, so let's say if you want energy and motivation, but you do not want to take a stimulant, this is another option you can think about, omega-3s. The way omega-3 increases energy and motivation is not by stimulating your body, but to remove what takes energy away from you, which is information, particularly neuroinformation, information of the central nervous system. This is great for that. It also happens to improve mood. And when you have a better mood, you feel happier, which makes you want to work out more. So it's a different pathway, right? It's not a stimulant, but it takes the stuff that prevents you from exercise or stuff that causes fatigue, causes low on energy. It takes those factors out to give you a better chance of having a healthier mood, healthier energy level to go and work out. And therefore, the workout will continue to improve everything else. Your mood and motivation will improve, and you're on your way. It also improves fat loss. So another good side effect of taking omega-3s is for fat loss benefit. So you get more bang for buck. For your investment in time, you get more benefit. One note I want to share with you is a lot of people think taking flaxseed or the plant-based version of omega-3 is a good source. It's not. It's not very bioavailable. Only a tiny percentage of AOA, which is the plant-based omega-3s, is going to convert into EPA or DHA. So it's a poor conversion. We're talking about maybe like 5% of what you eat gets converted. Look for an animal source, or if you're a vegetarian, you can get an algae source omega-3 supplement these days. It's readily accessible. What you're aiming for is to get 1 gram, more than 1 gram of EPA. So read the label. Turn around, just don't look at total omega-3s. Look at how much EPA you're getting. Aim for every day more than 1 gram of EPA and more than 1 gram of DHA every day. And that's what's being clinically studied to improve your mood, to reduce inflammation. It's almost as effective as some of the prescription antidepressant. That's how powerful it is. I would avoid seafood sources. Don't eat the seafood. I prefer supplement, and the reason being, the seafood often contain a lot of contamination from mercury, like heavy metals like mercury, lead. Yes, toxins like dioxins, microplastics. They're not good stuff. So eating fish in today's polluted world is not a good way of getting omega-3. Once upon a time it is, Not anymore. Freshness do matter. Look for trusted resources. The only two brands I buy, Thorn, Nordic Naturals. They're very reputable, highly pure, concentrated omega-3s, and they do molecular distillation, so you know you're getting the pure stuff without all the heavy metals and microplastic and dioxins and stuff. If you're on blood thinners, be careful. Omega-3 can thin your blood further, so talk to your doctor. You may need to adjust your medication depending on what type of medication you're taking, whether it's warfarin, or something else. Just talk to your doctor before you take omega-3s. Okay, so I've given you 3 options to improve energy or motivation to help you get started, kick-started to get that workout. Now I want to talk about something that will actually amplify the benefit that you get from the exercise. Remember the 2 things that negatively affect us when we can't, as executive warriors, as entrepreneurs. Fatigue and energy is one factor. It causes us to not want to work out. It makes it that much harder to step into the gym to do the workout. The other factor is as we age, with bad nutrition, bad digestion, it means we're not getting the result we're looking for. And therefore that's another factor that undermines our ability to achieve the result we're looking for. So protein is what I recommend. Protein is a very well-known, very well-used supplement in the gym world, so it shouldn't surprise you. But what you may not know is as we age, generally we need an increase in protein, not a decrease in protein. Because of all the factors of digestion problem as we age, we're just not responding as well to protein that we intake, and therefore our muscles are not working effectively. Another benefit of having protein is that increases satiety, makes you feel fuller, improves the metabolism, it helps burn fat. There's a lot of myth that you need to take protein just before or after workout. Within an hour of workout, you need to have X gram of protein. That's rubbish, because it's not like you drink and instantly the protein gets in your blood. You literally need to digest the stuff. Okay? I just want to make it easy for you to take on this advice, to take on this supplement. Don't get too caught up on how much protein you do before and after the workout. Just make sure that you have sufficient protein spread throughout the day so that you have the protein you needed to build the muscle, to repair the muscle after the workout. And there's a study that shows you literally can, if you take more than 40-50 grams of protein in a single session, the rest of protein is just going to get converted to sugar, okay, in your liver, because your body literally can't use all that protein all at once. It converts it to sugar and it gets stored as fat. That's how it protects itself. Your body will regulate how much protein it needs, it can process at any one time. So just be careful. Don't take too much protein all at once. It's a myth that's prevalent in kind of personal training world, but it's not based on sound science. You can, what I recommend again is to think about taking a protein fast every so often to pulse your protein intake, and that will improve longevity, right? Reduces inflammation, and that's that pulsing of cycle, having protein and having 1 day per week where you don't have a lot of protein. I'll explain a little bit about why that is recommended in the next screen, where there's a very common myth that's quite popular. It's a commonly asked question in the health community. In terms of dosage, 1.5 to 2.7 gram per kilogram of body weight, or 120 gram to 216 gram for 80 kilogram or 176 pound person is a good start for fat loss. There's argument and there's some studies to show even 1 gram per kilogram is sufficient. So this is something you can play with. Don't have it in all one sitting though. Split it up. Vegans and vegetarians, if you use a vegetarian-based protein source, just beware, you probably need to up the dosage significantly, because the reality and the fact is vegetable-based protein are just not as digestible for your body. It takes more work for your body to use vegetable-based protein sources. It's not healthier in a sense. Your body has to work harder to make the same protein. All protein eventually gets converted to animal protein in your body, eventually anyway. So making your body jump through hoops, that's your choice. Okay, I'm not critiquing your choice, but I'm just saying vegetable sources generally needs to be converted back to animal protein. But if you take animal protein from the get-go, your body doesn't have to do the conversion. So you're saving a step. Does protein supplement cause cancers? And that's what I mean. In the health community, some people ask that question because there's a lot of concern of excess protein causing cancer. But I want to show you this interesting piece of data. Did you know that divorce rate in Maine is actually highly correlated to the per capita consumption of margarine? This is US data. The source is US Census and USDA. Does that mean margarine causes divorce? Here's another interesting diagram. Did you know that the per capita consumption of sour cream is highly correlated with motorcycle riders getting killed in non-collision transport accident? So don't eat sour cream because you might get killed if you're a motorcycle rider, right? So I think you'll think how ridiculous that statement is. Correlation means that you can find a match in data. It does not mean causation, which means sour cream causes motorcycle accident, or margarine causes divorce. All right? It's ridiculous to say that, but you often see that confusion in the scientific community, even in people who claim to know science. Correlation, majority of the food research is really just correlation. The food data is based on surveys. Most dietitians, so-called science, are based on correlation rather than causation, because it's difficult to test real human in a controlled environment about their diet for long periods of time. So they generally use generalized data to make predictions, but just take that with a hint of salt. There's a bit of room for error. So having said that, does protein cause cancer? Protein supplementation. Well, the science has found some correlation for rats. If you give rats who are likely to develop cancer, so genetically bred rats that has mutation that are likely to get cancer, if you give them a lot of protein, far more protein than they would normally eat, yes, there's a correlation where there's more higher incidence of cancer. Does that mean that's the same for humans? That's a different story. We are not rats. So the science have found correlation. They haven't found a direct causation in humans. So I'm not particularly concerned. If you're taking the recommended dosage based on the current state of science, based on what I've shared, I don't think it's a concern. It's even less of a concern for me if you pose it. Like if you have a day where you don't have a low protein day and allow yourself a little bit more carbohydrate, that is completely fine. That will help your body have a break from protein, force it to clean up the excess protein, the damaged protein, the misfolded protein in your body, and recycle them. Your body will clean after itself. During those days, cancer is not a concern in that case. Okay, hope that answered the question. The next supplement I want to introduce to you is creatine. Creatine is, most gym junkies already know about this, but did you know that it's not just for gym junkies? It's actually for anyone who is interested in longevity, in high performance, and getting more bang per hour workout. This is something that you want to definitely consider. Very safe, well researched. It's one of the number one supplement that everyone should be on. Improves energy, improves strength, power, it builds muscles, You can run faster for longer, even reduces chance of migraine. So if you do have regular migraine headaches, you can consider taking creatine and see if that reduces your migraine frequency. Compensates for sleep deprivation, improves cognition, improves how your brain is working. You can upgrade your working memory, which is the memory you use to remember things, data, or fact during a learning session, like this, right? So if you take creatine, you watch this video, you remember more of what I'm sharing with you. Amazing supplement. The vegans and vegetarian, again, I'm not judging. Please do not come with me with your celery sticks. Your chances are you probably have a lack in creatine. You benefit from a huge amount from taking creatine supplementation. Plant sources of creatine are simply not well absorbed. All right? I'll get that out of the way. Are you okay? So, vegans and vegetarians, you might want to take it. You can keep on your lifestyle, but take a creatine supplement. Creatine monohydrate, there's many different forms of creatine with all different claims. The most well-researched form is also happen to be the cheapest form and also happen to be very, very effective. So don't waste your money. Just buy the cheapest thing. No need to low creatine. So back in the days, we talk about high performance sports. We tend to low creatine over a certain period before you reduce to a maintenance dose. You really don't need to do that. Research shows that really hasn't got much of a benefit. You can get benefit immediately. Just take it. Now, if you take too much too quickly, you can get diarrhea, nausea. Just back off, right? If you take too much too quickly, the dosage is around 0.03 gram per kilogram of weight, or 2.4 gram to 5 gram per day for 80 kilogram guy or 176 pound guy or girl. Watch out, diarrhea I've talked about. You might take it with meals. That will help with digestion if you have stomach cramping or stomach problem. And make sure you just drink plenty of water when you take creatine. All right. So I've introduced to you some very easy to use, very accessible, very affordable form of supplement that will help you improve your fitness. And it does it in two factors. It improves energy and motivation, which helps you to want to go and do this exercise, especially if you haven't exercised for a long time. Anything helps. It also helps you get more outcome per session. Remember, executive warriors, you want to get more outcome. You want to be more effective. You don't want to spend all day in a gym because that's not your job. You're not a professional bodybuilder. You're an entrepreneur. You're a founder. That means time effectiveness is important. So the supplement that we talk about improves both. And I've shown you supplement that improves both factors. There's, of course, a heck of a lot more supplement that you can take for each of these categories. And that depends on what you want to achieve, your specific situation, your biology, your background, your culture, your diet. There's a number of factors that determine what else you can take. What I've recommended to you is a very good starter. The play of this module is that you need to consider supplementation if you're interested in high performance. I've given you some suggestion. That is just my suggestion, but you can think of others. Go and do research. So the action for today, let me switch over to the slide. The action today is really to go and do your research. What would you want to try? What's your experience in fitness supplement? And ask any question in the community, right? I'm here to help. Any questions you want, let me know. But as long as you have some kind of supplementation for your fitness, to address your energy, to give you more outcome, you will benefit. This is how you get there, to transform your body for maximum effectiveness. All right, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the module as much as me presenting this. I look forward to seeing you in the next module of our Biohacked Warrior Fitness Playbook. Take care. God bless.